So we are live. I will introduce it in a couple of minutes. I just want to check everything's working basically. So we are live.
Okay. I've anyway. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Test.
You sounded very professional then, Mush.
So, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and whatever you decide to identify as in 2024. We are back for day 2 of watch alongs this week, back to back, obviously. Last night we covered Pool versus Redcart. Tonight it is the Kings Lynn PSH Environmental Recycling Stars versus the Sheffield True Group Tigers. This evening, we're going back to basics and back to how it used to be back in day. When I'm just joined tonight by Mr. Dylan Hodgetts. Dylan, how are we doing on this Thursday evening?
Yeah, all good. Strange last night not having you to work alongside, but back tonight and back to how it was in the first stages. It was due to be you and Alan tonight, wasn't it? But something's come up and Alan's now unavailable, so it's back to the roots.
Yeah, Alan's had to pay people to pretend to be his friends. Um, but that's not a bad thing. Yeah, so before we kick off, though, we're going to do a little bit of a preview of a big meeting coming soon. Sorry, the British final is on Saturday.
Yeah, it's that should be an interesting meeting. I know obviously you're going down to it as well to watch it in person.
Not got a lot better to do with me Saturday mucker. Um, but yeah, it's a very solid lineup at Kingsland at Bellevue, sorry, and you look at it and either you look and use 7 or 8 riders that could go and win it.
Yeah, and obviously it's really good that we've got the top three. You know, Dan Bewley, Ty Wolfenden, and Robert Lambert all taking part in it.
Yeah, mate, 100%. And t-shirt coming soon, by the way. Um, it's still a very good competition to be a part in, but um, the meeting's prestige has sort of been devalued over the past decade.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
to have these guys back in is massive, and obviously two of them being full timers in British Speedway as well is only a massive bonus.
Yeah, for sure, and yeah, we'll see what happens. You got any early predictions? Obviously, as D&D Media, we've got a vested interest with Simon Lambert getting a late call up to race. Obviously, one of our sponsored riders.
Yeah, massive for size. He's not putting any pressure on himself. He's just going out there hoping to do himself and his sponsors proud, and be really cool to see him. And obviously, with my Scunny hat on, hopefully, I'm hoping Connor has a good night and Kyle Howarth. But some people will end up saying you can't see past the three GP riders, but yeah, I'm genuinely going for a Tom Brennan win. I can see that happening.
You and me both agree. I think Tom Brennan's in the form of his life, and he knows the NSS track as good as anybody in the meeting. And I think this could well be his year. And certainly, if he doesn't win it, with the three big boys in there already in the GPs, I think Tom Brennan's got a very good shout of getting that wild card for Cardiff.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it won't just be the Cardiff wild card. I don't think. I think come Sunday morning, he will be the genuine British champion as well. Obviously, Ty rides Bellevue really, really well. Robert can ride it, but they've both said in an interview on TV that they're just using it as practice for Speedway Nations.
Yeah, that's true, and obviously, Tom Brennan's still going to want to try and put himself in the conversation for the Speedway Nations squad as well. Obviously, we've got three British riders who all race in the Grand Prix, but if you've got Tom Brennan in fine form and one of the three Brits were to be struggling a little bit, all of a sudden the GB management have got a bit of an headache.
Very, very true. Very, very true. But it's like Simon and Oliver Allen, the GB setup and all that. They do tend to like putting these GP riders and that in. So, I'd be very, very surprised if Britain's three wasn't Ty, Robert, and Dan. Not me. Just to clarify.
Ginger Dan.
Yeah, him. Bully, as some people like to call him.
And obviously that meeting comes up on Saturday, but now we turn our attentions to tonight.
Yes, it's Thursday night tonight. It's Kings Lynn versus Sheffield. Just having a quick look on social media now because Kings Lynn said that there would be a big announcement made before it takes up tonight.
They've said it'll be between the parade and the start of the meeting. So
right.
Yeah, there's a bit of time left yet. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. What was that?
Norwich Blue Dawns that said to me on Facebook, and I do not feel one bit privileged.
What a guy! Really nice fella, is old Mr. Bladorn.
He's not bad for a German. Not bad for a Frankfurter. The crowd here looks very, very spaced out.
The crowd here are just not used to having a meeting to go to. Kings Lynn not shy about calling off meetings, should we say?
No, and they could hear some news that Africa's had a rain shower and they'd call the meeting off. So,
ever the skeptic, Palmer. Ever the skeptic. Right, shall we have a look at the two team lineups for tonight?
Go on then.
Do you want to do the home team and I'll do the away team?
Yeah, Richard Lawson there in his old Kings Lynn suit. Handy to have.
It is.
So, the Kings Lynn Stars then this evening. Their rider at number 1 will be Richard Lawson, guesting for the injured Tobias Muslyak. At number 2 will be Patrick Wojdylaw. At number 3 will be Niels Christian Everson. Number 4 will be Benjamin Basso. At number 5 will be Nikolai Clint. Simon Lambert guests at number 6, and their rising star at number 7, Anders Rowe.
Indeed. Rider to watch for Kings Lynn?
I'm gonna go for Anders Rowe. I think he's a man in very good form. He probably could do with championship racing, just so he's not race rusty at every Kings Lynn meeting. But he can be a force to reckon with around the Adrian Flux Arena, and I'm expecting more big-ish things from him tonight.
I'm going to go with the guest at number 1, Richard Lawson. We obviously saw him last night and barring breaking down whilst well clearing heat 13 and then just missing out in 15. You know, he's in fine form and he flies around the Adrian Flux Arena as well. He knows the track very well. You know, you look at Jack Holder, Chris Holder, and Ty Woofenden for the visitors, and you think, you know, maybe Richard Lawson will struggle, but on his day he can beat anybody.
Yeah, 100%, especially around Kings Lynn.
You may as well do the away team as well, being as I've got both teams for the other meeting that we'll be doing tonight as well.
I'll go on then. So for the True 7 group, Tigers of Sheffield, their number 1 is Jack Holder. He won the Croatian GP, I believe it was, at the start of the year. At number 2, that's Kyle Howarth. We saw him. We didn't see him last night. I'm getting me meetings mixed up. It's false. At number 3, Chris Holder, Jack's older brother, won a world title once. At number 4, Josh Pickering making his return from injury tonight. At number 5, some DJ called Ty Wolfenden apparently has won some world titles at riding bikes or something. At number 6 is the rider that we definitely saw last night, in Jason Edwards. And their rising star at number 7, Daniel Gilks.
Your man to watch for Sheffield, Palmer?
I'm gonna go for Josh Pickering, just because he's very entertaining on a motorcycle, and obviously there's beef, isn't there, with Josh Pickering and the Kings Lynn management. So you know, and Picker's always looking to prove a point towards Kings Lynn. So yeah, Picker's my man to watch.
I'm going to go with Jason Edwards. We saw him last night, obviously, and he did tail off a little bit towards the end, but still had a very creditable meeting. And I think if he rides like that again tonight, he's more than capable. And he was the rising star last season when Anders Rowe who got injured?
Anders Rowe come in for Jason, I do believe.
Okay. But Jason was there to start with, and he was there at the end of the 2022 season as well, weren't he?
Yeah, or whenever Alex Brady was in charge.
Yeah. Actually, there is an update from Kings Lynn. Kings Lynn have taken gates 1 and 3 in Heat 1. So
oh my, they've won something. Big up the Stars.
What an absolute joy for Kings Lynn supporters. We're also going to tonight have updates from the other meeting taking place in the Knockout Cup, the second leg between the Ipswich Witches and the Birmingham Brummies. And the two team lineups for that are as follows. For the Witches, Chris Harris guests at number 1 for the injured Jason Doyle. Rider replacement at 2 for Dan Thompson, who's recovering from COVID. Sam Masters guests at 3 in place of the injured Danny King. Adam Ellis makes his return at number 4 from injury. 5 is Emil Saivudinov. 6 Keenan Rue. 7 Jordan Jenkins. And Freddie Hodder is their designated number 8. Palmer, you got a Witches man to watch for tonight?
I'm going to be called biased here, but Adam Ellis, he was in fine form before he got injured, and yeah, you know, he's got British final on Saturday, and you know, he's going to want to prove a bit of a point. So, you know, yeah, Adam Ellis for the Witches.
I'm going to say Emil. It's got to be Emil. he's a joy to watch around Foxhall, and he didn't start the season particularly well. But he's found some form now. He's starting to get up to his best, and I think he'll be back in that number one race jacket before long. Whoever Ipswich decide to bring in for Doyley, I think Emil will be back at number one before long. For the visiting Birmingham Brummies, who come into this meeting 2 points down, at number 7 is the rising star Leon Flint. Piotr Pavlicki rides at number 6. Standing skipper for the night at number 5 is Tom Brennan. Justin Sedgman goes at 4. Victor Lampart at 3. Rider replacement for Steve Worrell at number 2. And Freddie Lindgren makes his debut at number 1. Palmer, your Brummies man to watch.
So I'm not going to go obvious and say Freddie Lindgren. I'm going for Piotr Pawlicki. Having a rider of that calibre at a reserve is criminal, if you ask me. So if he's not scoring double figures, then there's something very, very wrong there.
I'm going to go with the obvious one. I'm going to go with Freddie. He looked really quick actually when he was on the track the other night. I know you will look quick if you're on track on your own, like me and you'd look quick if we were on the track on our own. But I just think he's got the bit between his teeth, and he's really feeling this since deciding to come back to British Speedway, and I think he'll want to put down a marker early on, and that's a very tasty prospect of Freddie Lindgren versus Emil Saivudinov.
It's going to be an interesting battle. But are we doing predictions for these meetings tonight, sir?
Can do, yeah, can do. We'll start with the one that we're going to be covering on the stream, Kings Lynn and Sheffield.
And as you introduce that so beautifully, I'll let you go first.
Oh God, I'm going to say Sheffield to win by 6. I think it'll be 42-48. I think Sheffield will take a lead back to Alwerton with them. What about you, Squire?
I've also gone for Sheffield win, but I've gone for a slightly more convincing Sheffield win. 39-51, I've gone for the Tigers. I believe we're having a moment's silence now for somebody. A man's moved his head, so the stream isn't paused.
don't quite know what's going on, to be honest.
Well, they're finishing their 85 hours of being quiet. Shall we do our predictions for Ipswich versus Birmingham?
You can go first for this one, Squire.
Oh, thanks, mate.
I was really worried what you were going to say there.
I mean, you still might be, because I don't think you're gonna like me after this. I've gone for Ipswich by 10.
That's not too bad. I've gone for Brum by 6. But maybe that's just the head over the heart over the head even. Oh, the
I
minute
mean,
silence has finished, or the 30-minute silence has finished.
you never know. I mean, Brum could pull up a surprise. I mean, I think I want to say you guys only lost by 8 there last time, but Emma wasn't in form then.
Yeah, but Doyley was, and there's no Doyley tonight, so maybe balances itself out.
There is every possibility of that happening, sir. And Dylan will be with us all night, but he will be providing us some updates after heats 4, 7, 11 and 14.
Yeah, we're going to be doing things slightly different tonight. I'll be providing the updates, and Palmer's going to be reading the lineup for the races and doing the commentary, and then I'll be doing the results of each race and keeping up with the scores from Ipswich. Have you noticed there's about 6 different colours of Kings Lynn Kevlars going on here? I know Si's got last season's on, and that's one colour. Everson's are a different colour to the rest, even though they're this year's. Lawson's got some old ones on. Oh my god. It's like Balamori.
Big up Balamori. Yeah, no, Kings Lynn suits. Don't think there's 2 identical ones, is there?
There's absolutely not. Looks like Jason Edwards has got Ben Trigger's fella on spanners for him tonight as well.
I mean, I didn't know Ben Trigger had come out of the closet, but if he has, congratulations to you, Ben.
Well, he's got Ben Trigger's merchandise on anyway.
Oh, it's him.
The fat fella.
It's him. If I say on this stream about him, we'll get booted off. So I'm just gonna say it's him and be done with it.
Just riders just doing their quick parade lap now. There's been no updates from Ipswich as yet.
Give it time, Mush. Give it time. Just double checking to see if there's anything on social media of the announcement from Kings Lynn, which there isn't.
Yeah, I'm refreshing the Kings Lynn page as well. I bet it'll go on BSM, but obviously with us having to watch on the old mute.
There's every chance it could be on Speedway updates.
Could be, yeah. It could potentially get put onto updates as well. Yeah, that's a very good point. No, nothing yet. Although Speedway updates have been very informative with what riders have said on the interviews.
They are. I'm just having a little look now.
Old Cynic can update more often if he wants. Or she. Could be a she. Or a they, 21st century and all
that. Justice for us microwaves. No. I'm hotter when I've got food in me.
Oh, is that how it goes, is he?
Jack Powder doing some moves there. I would not want to go into a club with him. Imagine all the people that just walk away when they see him doing them.
Walks over like Neil from the In-Betweeners. Jack Holder just getting ready and putting the white helmet on.
That would help, because he's scheduled to be in white in heat number 1.
We've got updates coming from Ipswich via the Birmingham Supporters Club
So
social media guy
um, I've
David
just
Dale.
I've just been informed by somebody at Kings Lynn. Strawberry Jam has signed for Kings Lynn.
Yankovic.
Yes.
Just the one in, one out.
I don't know.
I don't think that's any real surprise. Obviously, word gets around the grapevine quite quickly, and we we hear things, especially with the associates that we've got. So we did hear that this was probably coming. So I don't think that's a real surprise to either of us, to be honest.
No. Who is that in the BSM booth? It's not Haley.
Not Haley. Oh, we have an update from Ipswich. Teams are confirmed. Well, that's a start.
It always helps, doesn't it?
It does help.
So we're just awaiting the riders to be pushed out for heat number 1 of tonight's Premiership Knockout Cup semi-final clash first leg. And also by the end of tonight, we'll know one of the finalists of the Premiership Knockout Cup, and we'll have a very good idea on who the other finalists will be.
And if both of our predictions are correct, then it will probably be Sheffield.
You would expect so, but you never know in Speedway. Out could happen, and out probably does happen.
Look how grippy that is. All the riders have gone straight round by the start line to do their practice starts. They have got no interest in the slick part of the track. The starts have been ripped up that much that, that's where all the grip's going to be early on by the looks of it.
This track looks a little bit weird. As you've obviously mentioned there, the starts look pretty grippy, but the rest of the track looks very slick.
Kings Lynn have put a message out on their social media, on their website, announcing Kvetchi's signing.
Big up Strawberry Jam.
What a guy.
He is the GP GOAT.
He's expected to make his debut in the home clash with Oxford on Monday the 17th of June and comes in on an assessed 6-point average.
6-point average, that's a bit surprising.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised by that one.
I was expecting an 8, but James Cape's a good pal of ours on the start line this evening then, as heat number 1 comes up to the tapes, and off gate number 1 in blue helmet colour, that is Patrick Wojgilo. Off gate 2 in yellow celebrates his testimonial in less than a week, Kyle Howarth. Off gate number 3 in red, he rides for Leicester normally, that's Richard Lawson. And off the outside in white, that is Jack Holder.
It's been a long time since you've done a heat call.
It really has, but the start marshal walks away, then the tapes rise for heat number 1. It's a fairly even start, and it's the Kings Lynn boys that get first and second. Now Kyle Howarth comes up the inside there of Richard Lawson. It's neck and neck with Richard Lawson and Kyle Howarth. Patrick Wojgilo is out in front, and a surprise to many with Jack Holder at the back, who went unbeaten round this circuit in all 3 meetings last year, I do believe, but it's currently the home side on a 5-1 at the moment. Patrick Wojgilo showing the Kings Lynn fans exactly why Buster Chapman signed him at the end of last season. But the style now pulling away from the Tigers at the moment. Wojgilo, what a style he's got on the bike. He looks absolutely like his style is beautiful. Kyle Howarth has now drifted off to the back, and Jack Holder's now going to try and put a charge onto Richard Lawson. But as Dill said pre-meeting, Richard Lawson can beat any of these guys on his day, and he's certainly doing so. Today really must be his day, although Jack Holder's easing up on Richard Lawson now. But as the checker flag beckons, it's a win for Patrick Wadulaw and Richard Lawson second.
And that was sort of all done from the start. The 1 and 3 worked very well for the Kings Lynn boys there. And after a stuttering start, Wajdalow's really kicked on in recent times.
He has. And yeah, fair play to him. He's doing quite well at the moment.
So the result of Heat 1, it was a win for the rider in blue, Patrick Wajdalow. Second in red, Richard Lawson, and third in white, Jack Holder. That's a 5-1 for the Kings Lynn Stars to kick off the meeting.
100%.
Jack just does not get there. And it's all around the inside to start with, any kind of drifts into no man's land.
Yeah, Richard Lawson made a really good move there on the opening lap of the back straight. And to be fair, the opening lap was probably the best one of the lot, with the little ding dong battle with Kyle and Richard there before Kyle drifts off towards the back, like we've seen him do at Scunthorpe many times this year. But no, Wodge Dileo, he made the gate, and he's got a beautiful style on the bike.
He really has, yeah. And obviously Capes, he works a lot at Kings Lynn, and he's told us that Wajdalow had a new engine, and it's working so far for him. He went unbeaten against Birmingham a few weeks back, and he started really well tonight.
100%, can't disagree with you, and yeah. Interesting heat number 1 there. Heat number 2's coming up shortly as Anders Rowe waves for the green light, even though he's raced there for 2 years. I don't think it will have. I don't think it will have moved positions. But anyway, heat number 2, the lineup for heat number 2 off the inside gate, then in the white helmet colour, is your friend and mine. That's Jason Edwards. Off gate 2 in red, he's sponsored by D&D Media. That is Simon Lambert. Off gate 3 in white, he's doing 3 meetings in 3 days. Bless him. That's Daniel Jilks. And Anders Rose off the outside gate in blue. We start Marshall then walks away, and it's a very, very good start for the Tigers pairing here with Jason Edwards and Dan Jilks. Now, can the Stars do anything about this? Although Simon Lambert up the inside of both Rowe and Jilks, a great ride from Simon Lambert. Oh, he lifts, but Anders Rowe now comes underneath the inside of Dan Jilks, so it's now quickly a 3-3. Jason Edwards showing his track craft here as he rode here for around about a season as the rising star here under different management of Kings Lynn. But Simon Lambert's putting Jason under some pressure now on the third lap. Can Simon Lambert do anything to overhaul Jason Edwards here, as Lambert looks to use some of the grip on the outside, although the rider in blue now is also closing in on Lambert and Edwards, and Lambert up the inside there of Jason Edwards. Now, can Edwards repay the compliment? And Anders Rose, it's neck and neck down the back straight as they go into the bends 3 and 4 for one final time. It's going to be a win for Simon Lambert. Jason Edwards second, just. And Anders Rowe there in third.
What a race that was.
Just prepping for another 5 of them at the British final on Saturday.
What a race that was.
Why isn't this man in the Premiership?
He's putting a marker down to Kings Lynn, innit? To show them that they missed out on him at the start of the season. What a race that was.
Brilliant race that. Brilliant.
And for all the jabs we have at Kings Lynn for their excuses for calling off, it's a very good track when it's prepared right.
Oh, 100%.
And if you watch that start from Sheffield, they were on a 5-1 in the first turn. You tell somebody that after the 4 laps that had turned round into a Kings Lynn 4-2
Nobody would have believed you.
and nearly a
Um,
5-1 Sanders. Oh, both Kings
that
Lynn
was
riders lift
very,
there. Yeah,
very close.
yeah,
Um, and Kings Lynn, to be fair though, has always been a very good racetrack.
yeah.
Um, it's probably not as good as what it was back in the day, like when I used to go often for Conference League or National League, as you probably know it now,
Mm.
with Scunthorpe. But it used to be the place to go, whereas now you'd say Bellevue
Glasgow probably or
or
Workington.
Scunny or Workington, is the place to go for racing. Kings Lynn used to be that place, and it's tailed off a little bit, but it can still produce some very, very good racing.
That was a very sensible move by Simon Lambert there to come up the inside of Edwards and then just push him out to the mid track, block his run with his back wheel and no weight up the inside or around
He,
the outside.
he's already outscored his performance from last night.
Yeah,
So, heat number 3 coming up then, off the inside gate in the blue helmet colour is Benjamin Basso from Denmark. Off gate number 2 in the white helmet colour from Australia is Christopher Holder. Off gate number 3 in red from Denmark is Niels Christian Everson. And off gate number 4 in yellow from Australia, it is Joshua Pickering. So it's a battle of Denmark versus Australia in heat number 3.
and it'll be interesting to see how the rider in yellow goes here. Josh Pickering just coming back from an awkward injury at Edinburgh a few weeks back.
I think Kings Lynn's one of them tracks because it's quite wide.
Mm.
It can be quite a safe track as well. But the start marshal walks away. Pickering has a little tiny nibble there at the start, but it is Benjamin Basu that gets the lead. But Pickering
I'd
comes
expect the red
round
lights
the
to come on there.
outside and not quite works. So Basu has the lead now, followed by Pickering with Holder in now second. It's basically a free, and Neil Christian Everson's quite at the back. Let's just say it's not quite as sensational as Heat 2 was just yet. But Basso has the lead then with Chris Holder now. Josh Pickering undertaking Chris Holder there to get the second position. Chris Holder's there in third. It's pretty safe to be as a free all at the moment, although Pickering's not going to give up on Ben Basso. We've got 1 lap left to go of this race, and Pickering's closing in on Basso. One mistake from Ben Basso and Josh Pickering will be through, but as they come round then turns 3 and 4 for what I believe is the final time this race, Pickering looks to go up the inside, but it's Basso that takes the win and Pickering in second.
I was very surprised that wasn't called back because Pickering for me gained an advantage by jumping.
He, like me with Jaffa Cakes, he did have a bit of a nibble.
He definitely had some speed there though, but I'd definitely expect that he'll be given a warning when he goes back to the pits. So the result of heat number 3 was a win for the rider in blue, Ben Basso. Second in yellow, Josh Pickering, and third in white, Chris Holder.
And we just had the league standings up there for about half a second.
And it is important to note in this meeting, because normally Kings Lynn, at this point, Kings Lynn 6 points up. There would be a tactical in a league meeting. That's not allowed in a 2-leg tie, so whether anyone falls 6 or more behind, no tacticals allowed in this competition.
No, 100%. Knockout cup and 2-legged affairs, as you say. No tactical substitutes allowed. A good move, that I do believe.
Yeah, I do like that. You've worked hard to get to the position you are, and you've got 30 heats to contest it, so I don't really feel there needs to be a tactical opportunity, really.
No, 100%. Have you also noticed here at Kings Lynn, there's not any rain about at all?
No, I can't
which is
believe that. Refuse to
it's
believe
weird.
it.
So do I. So heat number 4 then is coming up on our screens and off the inside gate then in the blue helmet. He is ginger and he is called Anders Rowe. Off gate number 2 in the yellow helmet colour will be Daniel Jilks from Northampton. Off gate number 3 in the red helmet colour from Odense in Denmark is Nikolai Klint. And off the outside gate, I'm not going to say where he's from because it's an absolute embarrassment. But off the outside gate is Ty Woofington, who spins CDs
And wins world titles.
when he feels like it. So Start Marshal giving Anders Rowe a telling off. And Anders Rowe completely ignoring him.
Who'd want to be a start marshal, eh?
Not me, and I've done it.
You'd have to expect this to be 2 races in one here between Woofenden and Clint and Rowe and Jilks.
Or dependent on if Clint makes a gate, which, well, the tapes is right, and he certainly made that gate there. Great gate there from Nikolai Clint now. Woofenden looking to come round the outside of Anders Rowe in second. He does that beautifully. So, Kingsland currently on a 4-2. Dan Jilks trailing quite a bit towards the rear of the field, but Nikolai Clint almost in another postcode here at Kingsland as Rowe starting to put Woofenden under some pressure here. And, you know, Dill mentioned it about being how it should potentially be 2 races in one. But the big race in this one's going to be between Anders Rowe and Ty Woofenden, who are pretty close together in second and third. Clint's checked out and gone, and I think Dan Jilks has checked out, gone for an hot dog, and decided he's not going to rejoin the race. You can see his bike there on the centre green. But as we go into the last lap, Nikolai Clint, a bit weird for him making the gate. It don't happen very often. A big battle at the back now. Can Anders Rowe do anything on Ty Woofenden in this final bend? Not quite.
I don't like how much that fence on the home straight's wobbling around when they're going past it.
He'd be fine. As long as it's ratchet tied down or cable tied or duct tape, it'd be fine. Apparently.
So the result of Heat 4, it was a win for the rider in red, Nikolai Clint. Second in white, Ty Woofenden, and third in blue, Anders Rowe. That opens up an 8-point lead for the Stars after 4 completed races.
That it does.
There's been some decent racing in the first part of this meeting as well, actually, to be fair.
It has. It's been a really good meeting so far. And long may it continue.
Bit of an edgy start, that, though.
A bit.
I'd be intrigued to know whether the automated tapes are in action tonight or not.
Yeah, Kingsland do have electric there.
You sure?
So, just about. So, I'd expect them to be in operation everywhere, but some tracks might not have them. And as we've witnessed at Scunthorpe in the past 2 meetings we've had there, not necessarily the best of ideas. And Nikolai Clint looks like your average geography teacher at school. He's just going towards the BSN tent. He's talking to little Miss Fitty over there. And now we have my flight buddy and yours, Rob Lyon, on the old BSN.
We have an update from Ipswich. Should we do that whilst we got a couple of minutes?
Go on then, let's have an update from Tipswich.
So heat number 1, taking the rider replacement in blue was Keenan Rue, and the rider replacement in yellow was Justin Sedgman. And Heat 1 was won by the returning Freddie Lindgren in a time of 56.4. Chris Harris was second and Justin Sedgman was third, which wiped out the 4 point lead the 2 point lead straight away. Ipswich would then reopen that in Heat 2 with Keenan Rue taking the win, with Jordan Jenkins second and Piotr Pavlicki in third to get a 5-1 and make the scores on the night 7-5. And in Heat number 3, Victor Lampard took the flag from Sam Masters in second and Adam Ellis third. Justin Sedgman was at the back in that one. So the scores on the night is 10-8 and the progressive score on aggregate is 56-52.
Interesting start then at Ipswich.
Freddie doing what you'd expect, but Pavlicki should not be getting 5-1 by Rue and Jenkins.
You leave my mate JJ alone. But no, you wouldn't expect someone who's got extra league experience to be getting 5-1 as a reserve. But Heat number 5 quickly comes upon us, and Kyle Howarth goes in yellow off the inside gate. Niels Everson off gate 2 in red. Jack Alder gate 3 white. And Ben Basso in blue off the outside. And it's a great start there for the Tigers pairing. Kyle Howarth has the lead. And Jack Alder comes up, and that was heart in your mouth moment there, as it looked like Kyle Howarth maybe paying a trip to the fence. But Jack Alder has the lead then. Kyle Howarth now in the second position. Now can the rider in red, Niels Christian Everson, do anything to get underneath the rider in yellow? That is Kyle Howarth, my number 1. Ben Basso trailing quite a bit in this one. Jack Alder, though, showing us why he won the Croatian Grand Prix earlier in the season, because he's absolutely flying. He's checked out. He's almost in another postcode. He could check off for an hot dog and still win this one. But the big battle, Kyle Howarth versus Niels Christian Everson. Howarth still winning this. He's got his back wheel in the dirt, and he's just riding a very, very sensible line. And it looks like there's no way. Well, there is way through for Niels Christian Everson, but Everson just needs to be a little bit faster, and he might get a little bit more closer. But the checker flag beckons. Jack Alder pulls a wheelie as he crosses the line, and Kyle Howarth takes second.
Everson did Basso no favours at all there. Howarth was coming through, but it was actually Everson that blocked off Basso's run, and Basso had to shut off, so the teammates getting in each other's way and letting the Tigers pull away. So the result of Heat 5, it was a win for the rider in white, Jack Alder. Second in yellow, Kyle Howarth, and third in red, Niels Christian Everson. Closes the gap right down now, and after 5 heats, it's Kings Lynn 17, Sheffield 13.
So going back to the Brum meeting just for a moment, as a Brum supporter yourself, how does the start to the meeting that you guys have had, does that give you a bit more confidence you could go to Ipswich and get a result?
Not with getting 5-1 in the reserves race, no. Although Leon should score in Heat 4 because Jordan Jenkins has fell and been disqualified.
Or JJ.
But Piotr Pavlicki should not be getting 5-1 by Rue and Jenkins. It just shouldn't be happening.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you. As I was saying before, Heat 5 just shocked me.
Came a bit out of nowhere, did it?
Pavlicki's had experience in the Extra Liga, and I think he's done a season in the GP.
He did 2 seasons in the Grand Prix.
Two seasons in the Grand Prix, so to have an ex-GP rider at reserve is almost unheard of, to be fair. My mate, the dog, is also in here. He would say hello if he could talk, but he's looking at me, and his ears are flapping, so I'm assuming that's him saying hello. So my mate, the dog, says hello. As we go to heat number 6 on BSN, sponsored by Candy Soft. Off the inside gate in red helmet colour, that is Richard Lawson. Off gate number 2 in white is a DJ called Ty Wolfenden. Off gate number 3 in the blue helmet colour, winner last time out. Very impressive, very stylish, Patrick Wojdylo. And off to outside gate in yellow, Jason Edwards.
Richard Lawson telling the BSN cameraman to move.
Maybe he just didn't want his face on the telly. I mean, we both know neither of us has got a face for TV.
We have got one for the radio though.
That we have. The start marshal walks away in for heat number 6. The tapes fly, and it's a great start there from Ty Wuffenden off gate number 2. But Patrick Wadlow, if he went any further wide, he'd end up in Ipswich, but he only gets the second position. But Wuffenden has the lead. Wadlow's putting the pressure on Wuffenden now. Can Wadlow do anything to gain this first place from the three-time world champion? Richard Lawson pretty safe there in third, with Jason Edwards trailing towards the rear of the field. So as they come round bends 3 and 4 then for the second time this race, Ty Wuffenden still has the lead, leading by example as he probably should be doing in the GPs, but he isn't. With Wadlow chasing him down in second place. One mistake for Wuffenden, and Wadlow will be through. Wadlow's pulling ever so close now to Wuffenden. It's going to be a big battle as we go into the final lap of this race. But Richard Lawson settled in third. Jason Edwards is at the back quite far. But can Wadlow do anything on this last bend? It's ever so close, but Wuffenden wins it just.
It's remarkable to see the turnaround of Patrick Wadlow from the start of the season when he was barely scoring anything to now, pressuring Ty Wuffenden.
He was tipped to be one of the signings of the Premiership season for this year. So I read on the BSF anyway, which is the ultimate source of speedway information, as we all know.
So the result of Heat 6, it was a win for the rider in white, Ty Wuffenden. Second in blue, Patrick Wadlow, and third in red, Richard Lawson. Keeps the scores at 4-point lead for Kings Lynn at 20-16.
But I mean, that was a very good gate from both the Tigers there, but Wuffenden put the throttle on by the first bend, and Jason just kind of didn't. And that's the only way to sort of explain it as we watch the replay of the 6th race here at the Adrian Flux Arena. It should also be mentioned, if you want to view what we are trying to explain to you, the passes to see the meeting, I do believe, are £12.99 from the BSN website, and you just like us could watch this meeting. But if you watch it on mute and you have us on in the background, you can have better and funny commentary. So BSN also at Scunthorpe tomorrow, so they can give me my royalty check. That's very kind of them.
Josh Pickering's a rider to watch here. I think he had so much speed in his first one, and he's notoriously not a rider that gates very well.
He isn't. I can't disagree with you there, sir. As heat number 7 comes to the tapes, then off gate number 1 in the white helmet colour, that is Christopher James Holder. Off gate 2 in red is Nikolai Clint. Off gate 3 in yellow is Joshua Pickering, and off outside gate there in the blue helmet, that is Simon Lambert. Both the stars in this race won their last outings, and the Tigers didn't.
And you'd probably say that 2 and 4 are probably working better at the moment than 1 and 3.
Can't disagree with that, young man.
Start Marshall telling the BSN cameraman to move. It's not very nice of him, is it?
That poor BSN cameraman.
Or BSN microwave, whatever he wants to be.
He's not having any of my royalty check. So the start marshal walks away then as we look to get heat number 7 underway. It's a very good gate from Nikolai Clint, but it's Chris Holder that gets that lead first now. What can Clint do? He looks to come up the inside of Chris Holder. Can he do anything? Not quite. So Holder has the lead. Clint in second. Lambert in third. Pickering towards the rear of the field. And it's currently a 3-all as it stands at the moment. But we could never discount Pickering. He looks fast up the inside there as he looks up the inside of Simon Lambert. It's neck and neck now. But Lambert just gets the better of Josh Pickering. Lambert goes wide there. Don't go too wide, you naughty word. But Chris Holder has the lead then. Clint there in second. Pickering managed to get himself into the third position, but Lambert looking to put pressure on Pickering down the back straight. but it's not quite working out as it is. We've got one lap left to go in this race. Chris Holder has this lead, and it's going to be a Sheffield Tigers 4-2, barring any dramatic happenings in the last bend here. Chris Holder takes a win. Nikolai Clint in second.
Clint did Simon Lambert no favours then at all. Simon was coming around the outside onto the second lap, and Clint decides to go wide, forcing his teammate even wider and allowing a nice gap for Pickering to come through.
That is exactly it. And please do not think that we are ass flicking Simon Lambert just because we sponsor him. We're just saying what we see. Bit like catchphrase.
Heat 7, it was a win for the rider in white, Chris Holder. Second in red, Nikolai Clint. And third in yellow, Josh Pickering. Closes the gap now down to 2 points after 7 heats. And size there, he's definitely there early on, and this is where Clint decides to go wide.
There was that, and I think it's the next lap, I believe it was, in the or this lap here as we're watching now. It just side just drifts a little bit too wide, just here, and that's where he makes a mistake. And Pickering, fair play to him, he takes full advantage and just comes up the inside.
There's 3 people watching at the moment, but no comments.
Get your sends in comments, chaps and chapettes, and whatever you identify as now. We'll have a chinwag with yous. But yeah, my phone says there's 3 people watching, and one of them isn't me anymore. So thanks for watching.
Maybe it's Alan while he's out for his dinner with his family. Although I doubt it.
I doubt it. Alan's family don't love him enough to take him out to dinner. But while we've got a bit of a break, would you like to give us a bit of an update from Ipswich, if there is one?
So after heat 3 when I last came, heat number 4, when Jordan Jenkins was disqualified, the rerun of heat 4 was a win for the rider in white, Tom Brennan, with a time of 57.4. Second in red, Emil Saivudinov, and third in yellow, Leon Flint, even in the scores up at 12 apiece on the night and making it 58-56 on aggregate. And the Brummies rider replacement in heat 5 in yellow is Victor Lampart. But we've not had that race yet because we've got tractor racing.
Tractor racing is the best kind of racing going.
And I think while we've got a minute or two, while we've got a minute or two, we shall take a quick pause until we carry on at Kings Lynn.
That sounds like a plan to me. So we're back from our little pause, and where we said a few sweary words. So we'll just go down the individual scorers real quick now. So for Kings Lynn, 22 points. Richard Lawson 3 and 2. Patrick Wadrow 5. Niels Everson 1. Benjamin Basso 3. Clint 5. Simon Lambert 3. Anders Rowe 2. For Sheffield on 20 points. Jack Older 4. Kyle Howarth 2 and 1. Chris Older 4 and 1. Josh Pickering 3. Ty Uffenden 5. Jason Edwards 2. Dan Jukes 0. Woo!
Do you want to repeat that? I don't quite catch any of them.
Go back and listen to it on YouTube.
Lee Kirk in the comments, whoever that is, come on Tigers. I've asked Dan if he knows who it is, but Dan has no idea. So if you do know Palmer, tell him he's a wally.
No, I can't say I've heard of him. He's probably one of the Bentu Barmiami that shout Tigers, Tigers, Tigers. Talking of Tigers, let's go through the lineup then for heat number 8 off the inside gate. He's a Tiger himself, that's Dan Jilts. Off gate number 2 in blue, I remember him guesting for Sheffield once. Anders Rowe. Off gate 3 in white is Kyle Howarth. And that man again off the outside, that's Patrick Wadgelow, who isn't a Tiger. As Dylan types away, then the start marshal looks like he's about to walk away. And the tapes rise then, and Patrick Wadgelow, what a gate from him, and an absolutely perfect first turn, and Patrick Wadgelow's out there in front. Now Kyle Howarth there in second, and it's a bit of a battle between the rising stars now at the back. Dan Jokes currently holding the third place with Anders Rowe looking to put him under some pressure now, but Wadgelow, he's out, he's checked out into another postcode, he's checked into the Premier Inn over the road. And the big battle now is between Dan Jokes with third and Anders Rowe with fourth. Kyle Howarth looks pretty settled there in the second position. This Kings Lynn track looks quite fast for saying it's weird because there's only one part of the track that's very, very grippy. The rest is quite slick. Now Rowe, can he come up the inside of Jokes? He's getting ever so close, but not quite just yet. As we go through then, turns 3 and 4 then, we've got one lap left to go. Can Anders Rowe do anything on Dan Jokes here, or will Dan Jokes score his first point of the evening? Rowe's not giving up though. Rowe's closing in on Dan Jokes. Can he do anything at all as we go around then the third and fourth bends for the last time? And Patrick Wadgelow's already checked out. He's won. Kyle Howarth second and the Jokester in third.
Just maintains the 2-point lead for Kings Lynn. Lee Kirk says you're a wally.
Big up Wallies.
I know who else is a wally. Piotr Pavlicki. Absolutely useless. Heat number 8, it was a win for the rider in red. Patrick Wadgelow, second in white, Kyle Howarth, and third in yellow, Dan Jilks. Points divided 3 apiece, makes it 25 to Kings Lynn, 23 to Sheffield.
But yeah, Wadgelow there. What a gate. That was beautiful, that gate.
Perfect first turn as well, weren't it?
Just checked out and gone, and his style on the bike is ever so stylish as well. And you know, they predicted him to be one of the finds of the season, and after a slow start, it's certainly proving to be.
Yeah, his new engine's really working for him at the moment, and you know, jumping up into the main body for the first time tonight as well. Absolutely flying. I think Sheffield will be happy to take second and third there.
And it wasn't through the lack of trying from Anders Rowe there either, was it?
No, he was all over Jilksy, just couldn't quite get away through. Good ride from Jilksy.
Very good ride. Fair play to him.
And it's nice to see Dan score a point because he struggled last night at pool, and you don't want to see someone who's a genuinely really nice guy struggle there.
No, and like Dan's a mate of mine. You know, whenever he's at Scunny, like he will be tomorrow, like he was last week, and through all practices, he'll just come and he'll find you. He'll make a point of finding you, and you can just have a little natter with him. He's brilliant. Talking of brilliant, heat number 9's coming up. That might not be as brilliant. Off the inside gate, then in the white helmet colour, when he's gone from doing his turny roundy thing, will be DJ Woofenden. Off gate number 2 in blue will be Big Ben Basu. Shout out to Peachy. Off gate number 3 in the yellow helmet colour is your pal and mine, Jason Edwards. and Niels Christian Everson is off the outside for shits and gigs and poos.
Got 5 people watching now. We've peaked. Feel free to get in the
Wow.
comments and have a chin wag with us. We don't bite.
Unless you have cake. So, the start marshal just telling Ben Basso off for having his front wheel hitting the tapes, and now we're just waiting for Everson to come to the party as the start marshal. Then he walks away. The tapes has risen. It's a fairly even start, but it's Ben Basso then that gets to that first corner first. Now, can Everson, can he get round the Tigers? Yes, he can. So it's currently the Stars on a 5-1 with Woofenden in third. And Jason Edwards disappointingly at the back lane at the moment. So we go into lap number 2. Everson holds the lead then. And now Basso's been forced to fend off the challenge of Ty Woofenden. Can he do so? It's going to be a big battle this as this heat progresses. But Ben Basso just holding a nice right line there. The back wheel's just in the dirt. And Ben Basso doing absolutely everything right. Everson, very, very stylish as he normally is around this Adrian Flux arena. And doing Niels Christian Everson things. Woofenden looking to come up the inside. Then of Basso, we've got 1 lap left to go. Everson, high and dry, he's out in front. Now, can Basso maintain this second place? It's looking very, very likely here as they come round bends 3 and 4 for the very last time. And it's a 5-1.
And that was all done from the start. Both the Stars just absolutely nailed that.
That they did, sir.
So heat number 9, it was a win for the rider in red, Niels Christian Everson. Second in blue, Benjamin Basso. And third in white, Ty Woofenden.
Big ride that from the Stars, and they open that gap up now to 6 points. And now we're more than halfway through the meeting.
This is going very quickly.
Who do Kings Lynn think they are? Scunny?
Wow.
Actually, no, not quite. Would be this time tomorrow. We'll be at home enjoying the Chinese and watching Corey on catch up. But as we're now obviously more than halfway through the meeting, do we get the feel now that Kings Lynn can finally pick up their first Premiership win against Sheffield?
Yeah, I think they could do. I know it's Knockout Cup and not the league, but yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
Lee Kirk says, Jilksy, yeah, Bentu, Barmy Army.
Bentu, Barmy Army. Say no more.
I mean, to be fair, they do take an atmosphere wherever they go. They'll turn any meeting at any track into an atmospheric one.
They certainly know how to make some noise. So heat number 10 then coming up off gate number 1 in the yellow helmet colour. Returning from injury, I don't know if we've mentioned it yet, Josh Pickering off gate 2 in blue is that man again, Patrick Wadrillo. Gate 3 in white is Chris Older. And off the outside in red, Richard Lawson. Oh, it's good to be back on comms. At least you've got some funny commentary tonight.
You two go to Alwerton? No, Palmer used to. I'm a Brummies fan.
I used to go to Alwerton. I haven't been yet this year. I was planning to go at the start of the year, start of the season, but weather. But as soon as I'm able to get to Alwerton when I get a Thursday off, when we're not doing Oxford Speedway Radio, I will try and get to Alwerton this year. I do enjoy my trips there. I can't lie.
And the carvery.
I've never had one. The start marshal then walks away for heat number 10. It's that man, Wodgelo, that's made the perfect gate and the perfect first turn. And he's out there out in the front with Chris Holder chasing him in the second place. But the big battle now is between Josh Pickering and Richard Lawson,
It's
former
coming round.
teammates. These two.
Oh,
And Lawson round the outside of both Tigers there to join Wodgelo on a 5-1. Wow. Now, what could Chris Holder do? Could Chris Holder do anything on Richard Lawson? It's ever so close between these two. Now, what Lawson goes to the outside, holds to the inside. And it's Richard Lawson that's pulling away a little bit now from Chris Holder. Holder, though, looks to use a little bit of grip towards the outside and is edge closer now to Richard Lawson. So it's going to be a big battle now as we have only got one lap, I believe, left of this race. It's ever so close between Lawson and Holder. And Holder just goes a little bit too wide there. And I think that's that and all she wrote. But Patrick Modulo, he's checked out. He could have had a hot dog halfway through that race and we wouldn't have known.
and after Sheffield turned the screw and clawed it back to with a couple of points, Kings Lynn have turned it back and have gone now 10 points ahead. Patrick Wodgelo, 1 drop point from 4 rides.
You can't go wrong at that, can you? When you've got a rider of doing stuff like that, you know, it's very hard for the opposition.
Result of Heat 10, it was a win for the rider in blue, Patrick Wodgelo. Second in red, Richard Lawson. And third in white, Chris Holder. Makes the progressive scores now 35 to Kings Lynn, 25 to Sheffield. At what point do the Tigers management start to be a bit concerned and, you know, they're more than capable of pulling 10 points back at Arwerton, but there's going to come a point where the gaps may be a little bit too big. What point do you think that is?
I don't mean this with any disrespect to Kings Lynn at all, but they don't really ride amazingly at Sheffield. I'm sure it was only a month and a half ago they went to Sheffield and they lost 58-32. And that's the story of Kings Lynn at Sheffield. You know, they don't travel to Yorkshire very well there. So yeah, I'd like to maybe think that you know, they're starting to press the panic button at 10 points, but we'll soon see.
Sometimes go away with the bend to Barmy Army, but at Arwerton I stand on turn 1 making some noise. This is shocking from the Tigers. And I can't see the rest of the comment.
But Heat 11 coming right up then off the inside gate in the red helmet colour. That is Nikolai Clint. Off gate 2 in white. That is Jack Holder. Off gate 3 in blue. That's Big Sexy Cy himself. And off the outside gate is Kyle Howard. So a battle of the Scunthorpe teammates here. And there's so much grip on that start line, it's unreal.
The rest of that comment, this is shocking from the Tigers, we should be bringing it to the Stars. And we both expected Sheffield to win this quite easily.
I think I expected them to win a little bit easier than you did, but this is certainly a surprise for the Bucks. We're just awaiting now Nikolai Clint to make his way to the inside gate here. On paper, you favour the Tigers for this one, but anything could happen in Speedway and probably will as the start marshal walks away. The tapes has risen. It's a great gate there from Nikolai Clint, so it's Clint that has the lead then with the Tigers in second and third. Now what can Jack Holder do? Jack Holder's closing in on Nikolai Clint. There's nothing between Holder and Clint there as the Scorpions teammates have a ding-dong battle at the back with Howarth just in front of Lambert, but Lambert tries to go wide there to get over Howarth, but as the big battle out in front now, Clint holding off Holder at the moment. Holder goes, whoa, that was very close from Jack Holder there. Fair play to Jack for taking avoided action, because that could have easily been quite nasty there. But Clint's got quite a lead now over Jack Holder. Now the battle is towards the back of the field with Simon Lambert and Kyle Howarth, the Scorpions teammates, doing a little ding-dong battle. Howarth towards the outside now, Lambert at the inside, and it's Howarth that currently holds the third place, and I believe that's how it's going to stay as we enter the third and fourth bends for the final time, and it's another 3-3.
Kings Lynn will take this all night now, won't they? They've got their 10 points, they're in double figures. They'll probably need, you'd say, another 4 to 6 to go to Alwerton with, I'd say. I don't think anything around 10 or 12 will be enough. But they'll happily take 3-alls with being 10 up.
You've got to expect so.
And the result of heat number 11, it was a win for the rider in red, Nikolai Clint. Second in white, Jack Holder, and third in yellow, Carl Howarth. Sign Lambert at the back. Another shared heat makes it 38-28 with 11 gone.
Where has this meeting gone? Because this meeting has flown by.
It's going really quick. I reckon Kings Lynn have been having a look at Mr. Godfrey.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Mr. Godfrey's quite scary. He scares me at the best of times, and I work for him. But yeah, it was just the perfect gate from Clinty there in that one, and other than a hair of scare moment over on bends 3 and 4, it was all she wrote pretty much. Not for any lack of effort from Jack, you know, because as you saw here, he very, very nearly got it, but Clint just rode a very good wide defensive line, and that was that.
And while we've got a moment, we'll quickly go back over to Ipswich, which Heat 5 was the last time I left you, and Heat 5 was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters, second in blue, Adam Ellis, and third in white, Freddie Lindgren. That was a 5-1 to Ipswich. Heat number 6 was a win for the rider in red, Chris Harris. Tom Brennan second in white, and the rider replacement in blue, Jordan Jenkins, took third over Piotr Pavlicki. With a 4-2 to Ipswich. Heat number 7 was a win for the rider in white, Victor Lampart. Second in blue, Keenan Rue. Third in yellow, Justin Sedgman, with Emil Saivudinov retiring. For a 4-2 for the Brummies to take it back to 4 points. And in heat number 8, Adam Ellis took the rider replacement riding red. Tom Brennan took the rider replacement riding white. And it was a win for the rider in red, Adam Ellis. Tom Brennan second, and Jordan Jenkins getting the better of Leon Flint for third. And a change in heat 9, Keenan Rue replaces Adam Ellis in blue.
So we'll just go down the scorers here from Kings Lynn as it stands while we've got a quick minute. I'm not going as fast as last time because I've taken the scores off the screen. But for Kings Lynn, Richard Lawson 5+3, Patrick Wadgedale 11, Niels Christian Everson 4, Benjamin Basso 5 and a bonus, Nikolai Clint 8, Simon Lambert 3, and Anders Rowe 2. For the Tigers, Jack Holder 6, Kyle Howarth 5 and 2, Chris Holder 5 and 1, Josh Pickering 3, Ty Wolfenden 6, Jason Edwards 2, Dan Jilks 1 and a bonus.
And I think we're having an interval at the moment, so I'll run down the scorers as it stands from Ipswich after 9 heats. Because heat 9 was won by Tom Brennan, with Keenan Rue second, Sam Masters third, and Peter Pavlicki at the back. Again, he needs to get the chop. Zach Cook is going to be sat somewhere, pissing himself, laughing.
Just a quick disclaimer, folks that are watching. We are both very passionate supporters of our club, so if there is any language that may offend you, please go and get a life.
So for the Ipswich Witches, Chris Harris is on 5 from 2. Rider replacement is at number 2. Sam Masters 6+1 from 3. Adam Ellis 6+2 from 3. Emil Saivudinov 2 from 2. Keenan Rue 7 from 4, and Jordan Jenkins 4 and 1 from 4. For the Brummies, Freddie Lindgren's on 4 from 2. Rider replacement at number 2. Victor Lampart is on 6 from 3. Justin Sedgman 2 from 3. Tom Brennan 10 from 4. Piotr Pavlicki 1 from 3, and Leon Flint 1 from 3. Birmingham's reserves are an embarrassment.
I'm just having a quick look in the comments now here. Lee Kirk says we did Ipswich with them having an 18-point lead, but the Stars looking strong, so we will struggle at Alwerton against them. And he also comes in and says Rue should not be at 6 and 7. His average is all wrong in my eyes. Top rider is Rue. I rate Keenan Rue. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, and we're starting to show now the rider that he can be. And there's about 5 people in the crowd there at at King's Lyd. Sorry.
And anyone that's tuning in, we've got 6 now, Palmer, we've peaked. Anyone that's
We've
tuning
peaked.
in that's missed the news, Kings Lynn have announced the signing of Jankovic on a 6-point average.
Yeah, that is massive. And now me and my mate Kez has got somewhere to go and shout strawberry jam. So no complaints from me at all. But yeah, don't be afraid, guys, to join us in the chat. You know, we're friendly people
Ish.
and very complimentary towards our teams, whether they are winning or losing, as you are experiencing tonight. And if you joined us last night, a little bit experienced that last night, and wow, Nikolai Clint's bolder than I thought.
Nikolai Clint's a Danish Danny King. The beard looks the same, the baldness looks the same.
Yeah, 100%. T-shirt coming soon. Yeah, you know, you'd hate to be in the sun around Nikolai if he didn't have a hat, wouldn't you? But
do you guys have any other platforms? We have Facebook.
we have
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Facebook under D&D Media. So please go in and give us a follow. And we are also planning on doing other content as well for you guys. You know, obviously these watch-alongs are pretty fun, pretty cool to do, and obviously with myself leaving Scorpions TV at the very start of this season, this sort of just keeps me in a bit of a commentary gig, just if any other opportunities come up, and it also puts Dylan in the picture. And but we've got some interesting ideas for more content coming up for you guys. Obviously, let us know the sort of content you guys would like to see from us, and we'll do our best to give you it. But yeah, and look, like myself, I'm going to the British final on Saturday. Going with a Pella D&D Media in Callum. We're going to try and put a little vlog together. If you are going to the British final, don't be afraid to tap me on the shoulder. Say, hey up Dan, you're a good looking man, let me go get you a pint.
I'm not saying a word.
I'm not an alcoholic, I promise.
I'm beginning to worry about you, I am.
Only beginning to worry.
Well, Simon Lambert's now being interviewed in the pits, and we can't put the volume on because it's BSN copyrighted. But Simon Lambert, a D&D Media sponsored rider.
The worst bit is he's getting interviewed by Fitty as well.
And having both interviewed Simon Lambert at some point or another, we both know that this man can talk.
Yes, he can. But no, he's a great guy, his side, though, isn't he? You know, he's got all the time in the world for everybody. So, and it's an absolute delight to have at Scunny, and I hope his performance tonight has put him in the shot window.
Lee Kirk, you guys should get streaming rights because I'm not paying $12.99 for a meeting, and Eurosport are the emoji with the eyes in it. The brown one.
if um, if we could have the streaming rights, um, obviously it would be mega cool. But knowing what goes on behind the scenes um, at meetings that get streamed, it's hell of a lot of effort, hell of a lot of time, and I mean, I know BSN are a little bit different to what Scorpions TV is, but I was getting to Scunthorpe on a race day for about 3:30, and it would be boom, 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 get everything set up, and it took us a good 3 hours to set everything up. So as cool as it would be, unless we decided we was going to win the lottery and and buy a private jet and buy a load of cameras, I can't see that happening, unfortunately.
Although we do have some friends in high places, so who knows what could happen in the long run.
Well, we do, but we also
Riders,
have enemies in high places as well.
well, Riders coming out for heat number 12, so back over to you, Palmer.
That they are. Um, yeah. So heat number 12 coming right up then off gate number 1 in the red helmet colour is Niels Christian Everson, and he has scored 4 points so far this meeting. Off gate 2 in yellow for Tigers, that's Jason Edwards. He scored 2 points this evening. Also scoring 2 points this evening is the rider off gate 3 in blue, that's Anders Rowe. And off the outside in the white helmet colour, who scored 5, paid 6 tonight so far, Christopher Holder.
This is almost a heat where they're all relatively evenly balanced, as not fairly consistent scorers. They've all had a substandard night from what you'd expect.
I can't disagree with you there, sir. I really can't. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting meeting. An interesting meeting. It already was an interesting race. Sorry.
Any idea when the second leg for this is?
Tell you what, because I'm a nice man, and because I've got Sheffield's website up on my phone, I'll have a look.
What a guy.
Fixtures. 27th of June.
So Yankovic will be in by then.
The worst bit is I'm actually planning to go to that one as well.
They will have a stronger team, you'd think.
I get to go and chant Strawberry Jam at Sheffield. What's Dr. Love? The start Basher walks away then for heat number 12. It's a decent start from gate 4 for Chris Holder, but it's the rider in red actually that makes a perfect first turn there. Niels Christian Everson. So Everson's been chased now by the Tigers duo of Jason Edwards in second, and Chris Holder has now moved himself up to second, and he's chasing Niels for the first place in the battle at the back again between Jason and Anders there. But Niels Christian Everson has the lead so far, and he's looking quite stylish out front. Holder, though, is not going to give up the chase, but Rowe's ever so close to Jason Edwards now. Anders Rowe around the outside of Jason Edwards. Can he do anything? There's a come down the back straight. Not quite. Edwards Holder, a really good line there. Great ride there from Jason Edwards, but Rowe's trying the outside again now as they come up to the home straight. And Jason Edwards blocks that move absolutely perfectly. We've got 1 lap left to go. The battle is also at the front, but Rowe coming up the inside of Edwards here on the back straight. Edwards just holds that lead. Great ride here from Jason Edwards, but it's going to be a win for Niels Everson. Holds second, and a very, very close third there for Jason Edwards.
Very sensible ride from Edwards there. Didn't have the speed, but a very, very sensible ride.
And Kings Lynn's 10-point lead still remains intact.
So the result of heat number 12, it was a win for the rider in red, Niels Christian Everson, second in white, Chris Holder, and third in yellow, Jason Edwards.
Yes it was. But yeah, no, great gate there from Niels, and Much to the efforts of Chris Holder, you can't fault him for effort at all. It just wasn't to be in this race, and a brilliant, brilliant battle out of the back there. That was outstanding.
Our calendar is all over the place at the minute due to weather at the start of the season. Yeah, Sheffield did have a lot of rain-offs at the start of the year, didn't they? And in issues for one reason or another.
Yeah, I was hoping to go to Kyle's testimonial at the start of the year because I can't make it on Wednesday. And obviously the clash against Oxford on Easter Thursday. It's normally my season opener, that, and obviously that one been washed out. I haven't had a chance to get to Sheffield yet, which is a bit of a shame because I love trips to Sheffield. I really do.
Beekeep 13 coming up here. This could be tasty.
As Dylan said, this could be tasty. It looks tastier than an Indian takeaway, this. Off gate number 1, then in the white helmet colour, that is Jack Holder. Off gate 2 in red, Richard Lawson. Off gate number 3 in yellow, that is Ty Wolfenden, as he pretends to be a DJ and does the spinny roundy thing. And off the outside in blue is Nikolai Clint, who is the track record holder at Scunny. Not necessarily a fact you need to know, but I announced it, so I had to say it at some point in my life.
And on paper, you've got a fancy Sheffield here, but it's not quite gone to form tonight, this.
It hasn't, I expected a bit more out of Jack Holder tonight. I'm not going to lie, he's been unbeaten here in the past, and I kind of expected the same from him again tonight. The start marshal then walks away, though the tapes rise, and it is Jack Holder that gets to that first turn first. Now, what can the Stars do as Wolfenden is at the rear of the field? So Holder has the lead, then Clint in second, chasing down Holder. And Richard Lawson's also in the third place, and Wolfenden goes all out of shape there in the last place, but manages to stay on the bike, and the race can continue. But the big race is Jack Holder out in front, being chased down by Nikolai Clint. Richard Lawson looks pretty safe in the third position, and Woofy having a bit of a stinker here at the back. But Jack Holder showing us why he's definitely going to be a future world champion. In my opinion, anyways. I come round turns 3 and 4 for the third time, and Holder really, really stylish out in front, and this race become a little bit processional now. It's a bit strung out, but Jack Holder pulls a wheelie and looks back at Nikolai Clint.
He did that with a bit of purpose, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And we see some handbags between these two.
Nah, it's all good. Holder's put his thumb up to say, yeah, got ya.
Oh.
Wolfenden got sandwiched in the first turn, didn't he? So the result of 13, it was a win for the rider in white, Jack Holder, who wasn't even looking when he crossed the line. Second in blue, Nikolai Clint, and third in red, Richard Lawson, maintains Kings Lynn's 10-point lead.
And I'm not too sure how to tell you this because it's quite surprising news.
What's that?
Barring 2 Sheffield 5-0s here, Kings Lynn have won the meeting.
They've definitely turned the form book upside down, haven't they, tonight?
They certainly have, and fair play to them.
And we know they're going to be strengthening as well.
Big up Strawberry Jam. So that's all I have to say. But overall, though, it is good to see another Grand Prix rider over here. And obviously, with the rumours going round on X, was Twitter, apparently Buster's been saying at Stock Cars this is his last season running Speedway because it's getting expensive for him. Is this really one big last push to get towards the playoffs?
I don't think Kings Lynn will make the playoffs anyway now, to be honest. Whether they have a last push or not. Maybe it's just a last hurrah to get to try and get as many fans in as possible. Obviously we saw when they signed Artem Laguta, they all turned out. Start Marshall
100%.
not happy with Josh Pickering moving him over.
But the Line up then for heat number 40. To go off gate 4 in red, that is Benjamin Basso. And off the outside gate in the yellow helmet colour, that is Daniel Jilks. So this race you'd probably favour the stars here. Lambo ready to go. This is a bit weird from side because he's normally the last one up to tapes.
Now Josh Pickering's gone too far the other way.
Will he make his mind up?
Start Marshall's being very picky here, isn't he?
Oh, you won't have this with Capesy. And Lambo nibbles a little bit at the start there, but the tapes has risen and the Lambo's bike's gone. So it's all down to Benjamin Basso for King's Lid. So Basso has the lead, then as it goes down the back straight. Now Pickering looks to come up the other side of Ben Basso. Can Pickering do Basso? And it's ever so close now, but it's Basso that just about maintains the lead. Oh! Pickering very lucky there to stay on the machine. But looking to come up the inside of Basso again. And Dan Jukes is tailed off, but if he stays on, he's going to manage to get at least a third place here with Lambert's packed up. So Basso still has the lead, being chased down by Josh Pickering. Dan Jukes still in third place, and as long as he just carries on, he's going to get a point anyway. But yeah, no, great ride this from Ben Basso, and Pickering never gives up, and he's a great tidy little rider with Pickering. Last lap then, here we go. And Basso doing Basso things. He's leading by example as he's done at Peterborough for the past couple of seasons. Pickering not for a lack of effort, but it's a win for the Stars. And well, that was some form of hand gesture from Mr. Basso to Pickering at the end. It's all good because he's waved to him.
Pickering did very well there not to clean Basso out.
Very well.
Could you refresh the stream, Mush? It's buffering a touch. Heat number 14 is a win for the rider in red, Benjamin Basso.
Stars 37 to
the...
Apologies.
Second in white was Josh Pickering, and third in yellow, Dan Jilks. Simon Lambert, I think he knew there was something wrong with his bike there. He didn't look happy even at the start. He doesn't look down at the tapes.
No.
He's rolling.
He had
Did he just not forget to turn his fuel on? Or has his bike just gone kapoosh?
I mean, if that was the case, then that was a little bit silly, wasn't it?
Wasn't ideal, was it that?
A very interesting fact about this meeting, actually.
What's that then?
We haven't had a single change in any of the 14 races.
Team managers have had a nice quiet evening then.
Lee Kirk comes on the live stream in the comments again. Good to have you with us, Lee. Thank you for tuning in and having a chin rag with us. Puts, here we go, we've got Super Pico. And yeah, Pico's doing alright.
We're going to know all of the words to all of the Ben 2 Barmy Army chants by the end of this stream.
I don't think they're as good as our chants. We've got some right chants, but if we share them on the stream, we will get banned.
Well, this is you at Scuddy. Or us.
Well, I don't think Rob Godfrey banned me. I hope he wouldn't. Quickly run down the individual scorers then. Richard Lawson 6 paid 10, Patrick Wadrichullo 11, Everson 7, Basso 8 and 1, Clint 10, Lambert 3, Rowe 2, Holden 9, Jack Holden 9, Howard 5 and 2, Chris Holder 7 and 1, Pickering 5, Woofington 6, Edwards 3 and 1, Jukes 2 and 2. Boom. Dill, do you want to give us a quick update from Ipswich?
So the last time I spoke was Heat 9, where Keenan Rue had replaced Adam Ellis, and that was... Did I read that result out?
I think you did.
So heat number 10, Keenan Rue came in for the rider replacement and won the race, with Chris Harris in second and Victor Lampard third as a 5-1 to Ipswich. made the scores 35-25. Ride replacement for Birmingham in Heat 11 was Leon Flint, and it was a win for the rider in red Emil Sarvudanov. Second in white was Freddie Lindgren, and third in blue Keenan Rue, to make it 4-2 to Ipswich and 39-27 on the night, and 85-71 on aggregate going into the interval after Heat 11. What was the score last night?
The pool meeting.
No, the meeting that you kept up with.
It was 55-34.
As long as we don't have that kind of gap here, then I'll be happy.
I'm trying to forget that meeting existed.
I think if Birmingham gets to 35 points, they can be happy tonight. Heat 13 looks tasty though. Chris Harris and Emil Sarvudanov versus Freddie Lindgren and Tom Brennan. Such a shame Ipswich don't stream.
It's a shame there's a few clubs that don't stream, Kings Lynn included, because tonight, from two sort of neutral supporters that just want to support Speedway tonight, this meeting's been pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, it's not been too bad. I think we peaked really early with the action in Heat 2. I don't think anything's been quite as good as that for the rest of the meeting, but there has been passing, there's been some close racing, and I suppose you could call this result an upset as well, so the underdogs have prevailed.
It's been a better race meeting than what you get at certain tracks. We won't name names, otherwise if people hear what I say from a certain Midlands-based club that isn't called Birmingham, they will be all up my rear end.
And
again,
currently the next planned watch along for us is next Thursday, a week tonight, when Oxford host Ipswich in the Premiership, and that's on BSN, or watch it along with us for free.
You just don't get to see the pictures with us.
But
I can tell you Nikolai Klint's in blue.
And he's got the new Kings Lynn Kevlars. They're not too different to last year. I don't know why I just didn't stick with last year's.
No sponsor in it.
That's just a technicality.
Just get some black electrician's tape and just write it on in Tipex. That's all you need. I don't know if Nikolai Klint finds pit walls exciting to look at, but that's all he seems to have done.
Jack Holder's in yellow, Chris Holder's in white, so the Holder brothers coming out against Nikolai Klint and I'd assume Patrick Wadgdalo.
You'd assume so.
And it is Patrick Wadgdalo.
Yes, it is.
Telepathic. Stop the world! Stop the world! Pavlicki has not been on the wrong end of a 5-1. He's not won a race, but he has got second. I refuse to believe it.
Basically the same thing, innit?
And I think whatever happens in this Heat 15, Kings Lynn will be the happier of the two teams tonight.
Yeah, 100%. T-shirt coming soon. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of an upset. It's been a long night.
It's an update.
Heat 15, the lineup. Chris Holder goes in white off gate number 1 then. And his partner in yellow off gate number 3 came from the very same place. His dad's balls, because it's Jack Holder. Off gate 2 in red, it's Patrick Wadgdalo. And off gate 4 is not Patrick Wadgdalo's brother, because it's Nikolai Klint.
Although they are both Danish. No, they're not. Patrick Wadgdalo's Polish. I'm thinking of Ben Basso because he was on the screen.
So, you see here at Shoots from Shale, powered by D&D Media, we like to give you biology lessons as well.
It's been a long couple of days with the stream last night and then another one tonight.
It certainly has. It felt weird not doing this last night. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice to be back, and I'll watch this back later tonight, and my own voice can put me to sleep. Lovely. So the start marshal walks away, then 4, heat number 15. The riders look at the magnets, the tapes rise, away we go. Nikolai Klint's made a good gate, but it's the Tigers that get to the first bend first. Chris Holder has the lead now, and he's being pushed by Nikolai Clint, who's in the second position. Now, what could Jack Holder do? Could Jack Holder pull up the inside there of Clint? But Clint up the inside of Chris Holder, so Nikolai Clint takes the lead now. Great ride there from Clint. Now Chris Holder looking to come back up the inside of Clint. Can he do it? Not quite yet, but Watch Delor, who's been my rider of the night tonight, struggling towards the rear of the field, but he hasn't been out since heat 11, or heat 10, sorry, so bit of a long gap for him, but Clint still has the lead. Chris Holder second, Jack Holder in third, but the race isn't over till the fat lady sings, and with 1 lap to go, I do believe. Minan's just warming her voice up now, but Nikolai Clint, as soon as he got underneath Chris Holder, that was virtually all she wrote for this one, with Chris Holder not for a lack of trying, but Chris Holder comes second, and it's a free all.
Kings Lynn will be happy with a 10-point lead to take to Alverton. I don't think it'll be enough, but you know they've got something to defend, and they've shown tonight that they're more than capable of packing in for 3 alls, albeit around their home track.
Kings Lynn, I think, could really build on this tonight. And, you know, I hope this is the start of...
So the result of Heat 15, it was a win for the rider in blue, Nikolai Clint, second in white, Chris Holder, and third in yellow, Jack Holder.
Just a quick one, because I've just got a message in a chat. Michael Palmtoff's put on his Instagram story, always nice to find out you've been dropped live on TV. Would have been nice with a phone call first. So Strawberry Jam's coming in for Tofty.
And we will keep this stream going just until the end of the Ipswich and Birmingham meeting, just because we may as well. What's going on? What's going on when your GP riders can't do anything? Yeah,
Buster Chapman looks happy there. That's quite a concerning thing. That
he's signed Yankovic and he's won a meeting by 10 points against a very good Sheffield team. What's not to be happy about?
Well, exactly. And yeah, I think, you know, Kings Lynn tonight could use this as a stepping stone. Whether it's too late for them to make the playoffs or not, I'm not too sure, because numbers really aren't my thing.
Don't forget they've got 2 league points took off them. They're like 5 points clear of Birmingham, who are in 6th. And Birmingham are nowhere near the playoffs, so yeah, I don't reckon Kings Lynn are going to get there. Hopefully, have you got a programme so you can read out the individual scorers for this meeting?
I'll do some adding up. 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 6, 9, so we got that. 7, 3, 3, 8, 1, 3, 12, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 1, 6, 5, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So sorry if you were doing some adding up. So individual scorers from tonight's proceedings here at the Adrian Flux Arena. Richard Lawson 6 and 4, Patrick Wojtyła 11, Niels Christian Everson 7, Benjamin Basso 8 and 1, Nikolai Clint 12, Simon Lambert 3, Anders Rowe 2. For Tigers, Jack Alder scored 10 and 1, Kyle Howarth scored 5 and 2, Chris Alder scored 9 and 1, Josh Pickering scored 5, Ty Woofenden scored 6, Jason Edwards scored 3 and 1, Dan Jilt scored 2 and 2, and I'm going to stop pretending to be a Yorkshireman.
After Heat 13, Ipswich are through to the Knockout Cup final. They cannot be caught now, whatever happens.
And well, it's very open to find out who they're going to be against.
Could get an Ipswich and Kings Lynn Knockout Cup final.
I mean, nobody would have predicted that, would they, at the start of the meeting? Not even me and you.
Not. Absolutely not.
But yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. I know the Premiership Cup final is going to be streamed on the BSN. So if we don't end up going to one of the meetings, then I'm sure that could be a potential watch along for later in the season.
Yeah, we've got a few planned coming up, but we've got a week off now before anything else, which will be nice. So yeah, this is my second season at the Tigers from a very long time from Speedway, being a Bradford Dukes fan, so can educate my fixed score what bonus points mean for each riders, please. Bonus points, basically, I'll let you do it. You've been into it longer than me.
So basically, as an example, if your team scored a 3-all and your riders come second and third, the rider that comes third gets what we call a bonus point, which basically means that rider will get paid for a second, and the same with a 5-1. If you get first and second, the rider in second will get paid another point. That's all it really means. It's just an extra incentive really to help team riding, which seems to be a lost cause in recent seasons. Have we any update from Ipswich yet, Mr. Hodgett?
So heat number 12, it was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters, second in yellow, Piotr Pavlicki, and third in white, Victor Lampard, to make it a shared heat, and 42.30 on the night. Heat number 13, it was a win for the rider in white, Freddie Lindgren, second in red, Chris Harris, and third in blue, Emil Saivudanov, to make it a 3-all again, and 45.33 on the night. And heat 14 was a win for the rider in blue, Keenan Rue, who took 7 rides tonight. Second in white, Justin Sedgman, and third in yellow, Leon Flint, with Adam Ellis at the back. And we're just awaiting the lineup for heat 15.
So overall, in a fairly convincing win for Ipswich on the night.
I've just heard from somebody who's at Ipswich that, quote, Adam Ellis retired from heat 14 after getting a fuel tank in the nuts.
Ouch!
Oh, I can feel that.
Yeah, ouch. Yeah, while we're waiting for Ipswich Birmingham to finish, obviously we've got the British final on Saturday. If you do see me about, I'll be on the back straight somewhere. Don't be afraid to buy us a pint, because I really like pints and I really appreciate it. And I would say that I loved you forever, but apparently I tell everybody that.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel as special when everybody gets told the same thing, does it?
Don't know what you're on about.
Yeah.
And so yeah, really looking forward to that one. If you're at Scunthorpe tomorrow, you'll definitely be able to hear me, because I'm probably the loudest person in the crowd. So don't be afraid again to come, tap, say hello, get an autograph, and buy us a pint.
Lee saying, I think Bradford Council should bring back the Dukes. There was that rumour going around at the start of the season, weren't there, that Bradford were coming back into league racing at some point and the track was being worked on.
Yeah, I believe they've got like people in place to do the promoter's job. Um, but whether it comes to anything is another matter. I'd like to see them back at Osdale, but it will be very interesting to see if anything happens.
And there is hope, we've had Oxford come back, and that was almost dead and buried at one point, they were out for a few years. Yeah, it's an interesting. Oh God, this cannot be right.
That sounds quite scary.
I'm just waiting for the lineup to be confirmed on Speedway
I've
updates for 15.
I've got the Heat 15 lineup on the BSN app. If you want me to give you it.
Please tell me it's not Flint and Pavlicki.
No. So it is Keenan Rue in red.
Hang on.
Chris Harris in blue. Freddie Lindgren in white. Tom Brennan in yellow. The BSN schedules just come up on our stream. They are at Scunthorpe versus Berwick tomorrow. Then they've got a few days off. Oxford Spires versus Ipswich, which is on Thursday the 13th of June, our next watch along. And then a week tomorrow, they are at Redcar Bears versus Edinburgh.
Keenan Roost had 7 rides.
6.
Are you sure?
Looking at the BSN updates, 032 233. He's only had 6.
Speedway updates has gone wrong somewhere then.
Are we surprised?
That's true. What's he got?
He's on 13 points. He had 032 233.
Strange. No, updates has now been updated. Rue, Harris, Lindgren, Brennan, Ipswich off 1 and 3. Dear oh dear. Can Birmingham salvage just a little bit of pride?
I mean, maybe. Who knows?
I guess one can only wait. And same old Ipswich always cheating.
I'm saying nothing.
You wouldn't ever suggest such a thing.
Definitely not, because my Premiership team's Ipswich this year.
That's just because Adam Ellis is there.
Yeah, and Adam is a personal friend of mine.
Dear oh dear.
Have I ever told you about the time he gave me a lift home from Sheffield once?
You have not?
So I was at Sheffield. It was a meeting in 2022, and I was stood on my own as it was, and I just got a notification to say that my train had been cancelled. So naturally, like after the meeting, I hang around behind and have a chat with some of the riders, and me and Adam had a really long talk, and he said to me, "Where are you going next?" I said, "I don't actually know because my train's been cancelled." And he was going up through Scunthorpe anyway, well up through like the motorway that goes through Scunny. So he says, "Hop in the van, I'll take you home."
What a fella.
So and since then, well, obviously I had a lot of time for him in 21 when he obviously signed for Scunny. Since then, I've always kind of supported him, especially from that one trip that he didn't have to make, but did out of the goodness of his heart. So now he'll certainly be in the good books.
and we have a result from Ipswich. Heat 15 was a win for the rider in white, Freddie Lindgren. Second in blue, Chris Harris. And third in red, Keenan Rue. So we'll just quickly run through the individual scores from this meeting as well. For the victorious Ipswich Witches, Chris Harris 11-1, if that's right.
That's what BSN say.
Yeah. Rider replacement at number 2. Sam Masters scored 9-1. Adam Ellis 6-2. Emil Sarvudinov 6-1. Keenan Rue 14-1. And Jordan Jenkins 5+1. For the Birmingham Brummies, Freddie Lindgren scored 12. Victor Lampard 8+1. Justin Sedgman 4. Tom Brennan 10. Piotr Pavlichki 3. And Leon Flint 2+1. Some serious questions need asking of Birmingham after tonight, I think.
Well, I mean, if we've got a very, very quick 5 minutes here, as from a Birmingham perspective, and I don't mean this with any disrespect because Leon Flint is a great kid, but he's been at the same level now for about 3 or 4 seasons and he doesn't seem to have shown any progression. Is this sort of like worrying times for you guys?
I think it's more worrying the fact the former Grand Prix star can only score 3 points at number 6. I think Zach Cook will be sat somewhere laughing his nuts off.
Especially after Ipswich asked him to guest tonight. Birmingham, sorry.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? But yeah, with that we'll wrap up for this evening.
Yeah, massive shout out to everybody that's joined us tonight. We really appreciate you being with us. Go and give us a like on Facebook under D&D Media. Go and give us a subscribe if you'd be ever so kind. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next Thursday for Oxford versus Ipswich for a watch along. Possibly a British final vlog to come on our Facebook page. We will soon see.